What's up, everybody? I just onboarded two new clients yesterday, and so I wanted to make a quick video here to show you guys what my onboarding process looks like, along with all of the different automations that I have to ensure that the client is set up really quickly, including domain setup, including like setting up this live dashboard that I have, and all sorts of other stuff. So if this is relevant, happy to have you here. Let's dive into it. And so this is what I've got. I've got the live dashboard. Each client is going to be receiving this. And what this allows them to do is see the funnel in real time, as you can see here. And obviously, they can access my Smart Lead dashboard from there. But ultimately, the end goal for me is to remove access from this and have everything here. And that's relevant because they can obviously click on these links here, and we're going to be able to see all of the emails. They might be able to even respond to those emails. So it's going to be a little bit more complex, but this is the first phase of where we're at. And so let's go into what the setup looks like and the initiation. So when I get a new client, all I need to do is simply enter their full name. And then in the custom fields here, I have to input their email address, their company name, their Slack channel ID, and the website. All of this stuff is relevant because we're going to be using it many times into the future. Like the Slack channel, for example, I have so many automations that notify the clients of various things. And so having the correct Slack channel ID allows me to automate that easily. And this serves as a reference point for future automations. And so let's dive into when this client is completed. When this task is set up, this is the automation that fires off. So this automation is basically using a webhook. The webhook is right here in the ClickUp automations, and basically it checks Smart Lead for any clients of that email. If they don't exist, it adds them there, right? We check the Stripe to see if there's anything. We check if there's a Slack channel already there. And if there's no Stripe or Slack, we just create those ones there. And then we edit the task, the client field within ClickUp. The next steps here are, are basically setting up the different custom fields. So this is the drop-down menu within HubSpot. And so whenever we get, and I think this would be useful, right? So these are all Smart Lead contacts, right? But I'm able to filter them by the client, right? And so a contact that responded to one client is not going to be there for another client. And the way we do that is by setting up drop-down fields inside ClickUp and inside HubSpot. And so when we add the people to Smart Lead, it's linked to a client, but we're able to reference that client using the drop-down menus that we create within ClickUp and HubSpot. And this is where we do it. So this basically checks all of them, and then it's probably too complex. If you guys need any help with this, just let me know. But that's basically the gist of this. And then this final step here is where we get started with the live dashboard creation on autopilot. And so what this does is we go back to this right here. I have a whole bunch of different views. So this is one of the views. It's a board view. The other views are the list views that you've seen here. I also have the timeline view that you can see here. And so all of them I've created myself as a client. So I've got the Afonto board view, the timeline view, and the list view. And so what this is doing is it's checking all of the properties of these views that I've created myself. And so, for example, if I was to add certain specific filters, certain specific customizations to this, it is checking all of that information, and then it creates a copy of that view for the client automatically. So this make API call, maybe I can show this. It is basically creating a list view, and I'll just show this as well. And we're copying all of that information like this. So, like I said, if you guys want to dive deeper into these things, let me know, but I don't want to complicate this too much. And so what that ends up doing is it ends up creating a bunch of different views for those specific clients. And so as you can see, I've got all of the different clients here that each have their board views, and each of them are filtered differently by the client. And then we basically make a public shareable link and then embed it onto this document. So that is the live dashboard. That is the automations behind that. Now let's get into the domain setup. So once that's all being done, the next thing that I do is I have to buy domains, right? And so I have several things that I like to do. So one of them is using this automation, which generates domains that are similar to the company. And this is the automation that I use. So yeah, generate domains. What this does is it gets the task. Remember how I said that all of the information that we set up initially is going to be used in the future? Well, this is where it would come into play. So as you remember, let me show you the other custom fields I've created. So as you remember, I created the company name. And so that's going to be relevant in helping us determine the domains that we're going to purchase. And so what this is going to do is it basically grabs the company name, puts it into OpenAI, and there's a prompt that says, using this company name, generate 100 domains with this criteria. And then we go into GoDaddy to analyze whether those domains exist. We iterate through them to check whether the price fits our budget. If the price fits our budget, we aggregate all of that, and then we output that back into ClickUp. And actually, I'm going to show you guys how this would work. And what I'll do, I'll remove this webhook just because I'm not creating a new client. And just give me 1 second. I'm basically grabbing the task ID of that profile that you were seeing in a second, and then nothing is changing. The only thing I've removed is the webhook, which I'm realizing I didn't even need to do because I already have it set up. All I needed to do actually for the automations is just click this input and then generate domains. But that's besides the point. Where is that thing? Oh my God, I have so many tabs. So there you go. It worked. And so when we go back to, oh, this is a pain. So this is what it outputs for us. It gives us a whole bunch of domains, and then it takes us to the GoDaddy bulk domain search. And so give me 1 second. Okay. So basically, when I click on this button here, it's going to go into the bulk domain search. And with this, all I do is I basically copy all of these domains, right? And remember, all of these fit our budget. And so we can certainly afford them. And so now it's just a matter of analyzing them and seeing which ones we want to buy. And if I wanted more than 37 options, I would simply just add that. This is horrible. I would simply add that here. But that's the gist. And by the way, I've already got like 30 domains. So the perfect domains for myself, I've already purchased. And so let me show you the next thing. So the next thing I do is I do add domains. So once these domains have been purchased, they're inside GoDaddy. I click this here, it fires off a webhook, and what that looks like is basically this. It searches GoDaddy for all of those domains, checking all of the domains that were created in the past 7 days, and just goes through a whole bunch of steps here. And what this does is it adds all of those domains in ClickUp in this section, the domains purchased. And now that's when we would start doing the domain setup, the inbox setup. And by the way, this video is quite long, but to go from what I just did, like this whole process would normally take me like 2 minutes without the explanations or whatever. And so we go into the domain setup complete, and then there's going to be all of these different steps. And actually, I just realized the video is long. So I'm going to end it here. If you guys want to see more of this, just let me know. But the point is, there's an assigned comment here, and I have automations here so that every single time something goes here. So if it goes to domain purchased, we get an assigned comment. If it goes to this, we get an assigned comment, and so on and so forth. And these assigned comments are basically SOPs for how to get all of these set up. And so if I end up hiring a VA or something like that, that's where all of the SOPs are going to be with setting up the domains. And something like the DKIM, right? Once we've got the DKIM, we add it here in ClickUp, and this automation here takes that DKIM key, adds it to GoDaddy. But like I said, the video is getting long, so I'm gonna end it here. If you guys have questions, let me know. I hope you have a good day. Cheers.